everyone. Welcome to Sunny Day Stamping. I'm Julie Baca. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to be making two cards, one that's really simple, quick, and easy, and then a stepped up version if you have the extra supplies and the extra time that you want to do that. But you can use this same concept though for making a simple card more complicated, or reversing it and making a complicated card more simple. So I hope that's really useful to you. So over on my website though, you can find the list of supplies. You can find the measurements so that you can make these cards on your own. You can definitely use stamp sets you have at home, but if you like what I'm using, you can purchase those over on my website, sunnydaystamping.com. If you do make a purchase from me, make sure you use my current host code. You'll find it at the top of my website, and that'll help you accrue points towards earning a free stamp set with my customer bonus program. And there's details for that over on my website, or there's a link in the description below this video. Actually, there's a link in the description of this video that will take you directly to that blog post. All right, let's get started. So here's the fancy version of the card we're going to make today, but we're going to start with the simple version, which is just going to be stamped. We're not going to cut anything out. We're going to be using the Cheerful Daisies, which is quickly becoming my absolute favorite of the new catalog. It is so great for simple stamping, which is my favorite, but you can also step it up like I'm going to show you today. Now, for the stepped up version of this card, we're going to be using the dies to cut out the different elements. You can see how many dies this comes with. Now, when you buy these both together, the stamp and die bundle, you get 10% off. So if you think you're going to want that down the line, it is best to buy them at the same time. One additional stamp set I'm going to use is the Go-To Greetings, because I want a long, skinny, sentiment for the front, and there's only one in this, and it only says "You made my day." So what happens if I want to make a birthday card? Well, that's why I'm going to grab my Go-To Greetings, and there are some simple thin greetings in here that are going to work perfect for the front of this card. So we're going to make a happy birthday, but then on the inside of our card, we're going to be able to use "Wishing you the brightest birthday." We're also going to make a thank you card, and you're going to use this "thank you," but then we're going to use this on the inside of the card. "Your friendship means everything to me." Or "Your friendship means everything." So we're going to start with our simple version, and we're going to start with the stem, and we're going to stamp it we're going to start the bottom of the stem about 1/2 inch from the bottom of the card. And I seat the bottom of the stem, and then I rock it up into position. And the reason why I'm starting with the stem first is because that is going to ensure that my flower is in the right spot. And now take your daisy and just plop that right at the end of your stem there. And then it's got this awesome black center that just really makes it pop. You can use any color in the center. And then we're just going to do a little leaf. Bam, there's the front of our card. And let's do the inside while we're here. Now for the inside of your card, you could use a large daisy or one of these smaller ones. I'm going to use this smaller one. And just put it right here. So you may notice I am stamping on top of this Stamp and Pierce mat. Sometimes photopolymer stamps, to get the best impression, you want to use that Stamp and Pierce mat. It's just like $5 or $6, and it just gives a little cush, which gives you a better impression. This small daisy comes with a little inside too, which is so cute. And then I'm going to take this birthday greeting from that Cheerful Daisy stamp set, and this will go on the inside. Now, while you have all your inks out, go ahead and stamp your envelope. I did that ahead of time. And now we're going to layer everything onto black. And I've got all the measurements for this over on my website. My email subscribers will get this print and make project sheet with the cutting and scoring measurements, some written instructions, and links to the video and supply lists. But you can find all this info on my website, but if you like it all on one page, you can sign up for my email list, and that is in the description of this video. One last thing I'm going to do before I put all my inks away is take my card base, flip it over to the back, and I just like to put one little simple thing on the back. It just adds that little extra touch of I'm homemade and I'm special. So now I'm going to grab my happy birthday out of the go-to greetings. I'm going to line it up on grid paper or on a line on your desk there and line up my block to that. Now I am going to heat emboss this. Even though this is a simple card, this is just an extra step that I think is worth it for this card. But if you don't want to do that, or you don't have the heat embossing tools, you can stamp directly on here. You could also take a white scrap of paper and make yourself a banner like this and stamp it on the banner and on your card. And what I mean by banner is this little banner element that we're going to make. So you could stamp this on white and still use that little pop of color that matches your flower, but we're going to do it on black. So one tip when you're doing this, go through your scrap pile and get just a long strip. This is a 1/2 inch. You can see I stamped here. I wasn't happy with it. I could see that it was not it was not spaced correctly, so that's why I stamped here. And we're just gonna cut that off after we're done. And so what we're gonna do, turn on this heat gun and move it around until we see it turn nice and white. Okay, so now you're gonna take your greeting, and if you messed up like I did on this side, we're gonna cut off the excess on the left, leaving a small margin where your word is. And then we're gonna cut this down, but leave room to cut our banner. So you want this to be at least 2 1/4 for a shorter sentiment, like a thank you or something. Okay, now you can cut the banner with scissors. I'm not awesome with scissors, so I am going to use this pick a banner punch and just punch out the end here. Come on out. There, it just creates just the perfect banner edge there. Now what you're going to do is dig through your scrap pile, find the same color as your flower and punch that end, or snip it with scissors. And now we're just going to cut this down so that it's shorter than our sentiment there. All right, I got too many pieces. I don't want to confuse you here. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, so now you've got one banner with your sentiment and one little accent piece. And so what we're going to do is put some glue in the middle of the black. And then you're going to take this other piece and have it extend past the black. So let me show you so that it's sticking out like that. So that when you pop it on your card, you've got that tie-in of the black center and the color of your flower here. Now to just keep this quick and simple, we're just going to add some glue here. You're going to align it all the way over to the left so that the black is going into this black frame that's around the card. And there you go. All right, so now let's compare the two cards. This is the more complex version, and this is the really quick and easy. I mean, we were just stamps, ink, and paper pretty much, except for that punch. So when you see a more complex card and you want to make it quick and easy, look at the card and decide what is catching my eye. What do I love? And what I loved with this big flower on this simple background, and I absolutely loved this sentiment. I thought that really popped it out, having the white on the black. So I just transferred those elements, just those simple elements, to a plain quick and easy card. But now let me just show you just a couple extra things you need to do to make it this fancy. Whoa, that is ginormous. So one of the easiest ways to make simple cards fancy is to get yourself a cut and emboss machine, because you can really up your game. So instead of stamping directly on this white piece, we are going to put it into an embossing folder. And embossing folders have this line across the top, and that is for a purpose, so that you can line up your paper on there if you're really particular and want your design to be nice and straight. Now, one tip when you are running embossing folders through your machine, make sure you turn them around so that that folded edge, so this is the open edge and this is the folded edge, you want the folded edge going through first. It's going to protect your machine and protect your embossing folders so they last a really, really long time. Now you're going to stamp those same pieces of your flower onto a scrap piece of paper, and you're going to use your dies to cut them out. I really do not like it when my die cuts are like askew, so I take a Post-it note, and if it's a brand new Post-it note, I put my fingers on it so it gets the oils from my hand so it's not so sticky, and then I line up my image, and then I hold it into place with the Post-it note. Actually, I'm going to have it go across this whole thing because I saw it shift when I just did that. And I'm going to do the same thing with these two. See, look how great those turned out. And this one, this is the tricky one, and that Post-it note held it right where it needed to be. So the only things you need to do to make this card the stepped up way is to use an embossing folder on the white piece, cut out your flowers, and we're going to pop some stuff up with dimensionals. So now you're just going to take your stem and put just a thin bead of glue on the back, and we're going to, in the same way, we're going to put it in the center of this white piece about 1/2 inch up and lay it down. You're going to tuck that leaf underneath or on top, whichever way looks best to you, and then layer this on. So now you're just going to put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of these two pieces. Whoop. So you're going to pop up this sentiment instead of gluing it straight down, and then also pop up the head of that flower. It's just going to create that little bit of shadow behind it that makes it like really extra special. So this is one super simple, quick and easy. This one is stepped up a little bit, and I know you guys out there can make this even fancier by adding a little ribbon or some little sequins or something like that. This one I did in Petal Pink, and I did not emboss the background, so that would be one way to make the same kind of card but one less step. And this one just is what it looks like with the mossy meadow background. And this is the one from the beginning. If you love the products I use, which are Stampin' Up products, you can actually join Stampin' Up and get 20% off everything. And this is great if you are a seasoned stamper and you buy products frequently, but also if you are brand new to stamping, man, join. You can get all of your products at a discount. You don't have to sell anything if you don't want to. You just have to bring in $300 every quarter to remain a current demonstrator. And if you don't meet that, you just go back to being a regular customer. So if you are interested in that, reach out to me. There's also information on my website about joining Stampin' Up. Thank you so much for watching today. See you soon. Have a sunny day.